It's Nolan. I need my credit when I'm popping shit. Shift the game like I'm driving stick. Money piling my wallet thick. Numbers looking like scholarships. I'm out here bit. Hurricane season. Send me overseas. Get a bag and I'm leaving. I'm back with the reason. I'm a rapper supreme. Like burritos on a rap for the biggest. Back to attack, make achievements. Nigga fuck a flag for religious. I put on a mask and I'm thieving. All black with a skull cap and Adidas. Insufficient funds. Fit that 150. Nigga get it done. Feeling big as pun. Industry critics don't like me. What you gonna do? Should night me? Swimming upstream so Pisces. Got a Gucci on me so icy. All the floozies. When it comes stand by me, 7-Eleven is getting too dicey. I be killing y'all nigga with the flow. Notorious big, I be kicking in doors. Leviticus niggas get spiritual, call me the bishop. I'm watching y'all decompose. I don't really need no ops, I don't need no props. I'ma sink my shot like swish. I'm a Gambino, looking for a freak hoe, pink flamingo box. Everybody wanna know the recipe. I got my flow on the Chesapeake. I'm a SOB from the A, but my style on Texas P. Yes indeed. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everyone is doing well out there. Now, in this video, we're going to be going over Jay-Z. Of course, he has a huge story in the press right now with the allegations that have been leveraged against him and Diddy. We've been keeping up with this as it's been coming out, right? We talked about the original, we talked about the filing that came out the other day. We've talked about Jay-Z and his response, coming out. He put out a public press release to let people know he doesn't know what the hell's going on. He's going to fight to his furthest extent of the law to protect his name and protect his reputation. And he says that there's an extortion plot that Tony Busby and the alleged victim is allowing the attorney to do. We've gone over Jay-Z filing for dismissal. We've gone over Jay-Z basically outlining that a former client of Tony Busby's has reached out to his legal team and provided details of Tony Busby allegedly basically getting her to lie, right? She went to this law firm, Tony Busby's firm. She had her own trafficking and abuse case that she was bringing to them, and rather than follow up on the lead that she actually brought to them, they took her story and attached it to Diddy and Jay-Z. Okay? So, Mari Henderson, who's also a partner at Quinn Emanuel, which is the law firm representing Jay-Z, she has also written a letter to the judge basically putting her name, her legal reputation, and basically her future on the line, stating that she has spoken to this woman via phone and via email, and that she can certify with under the penalty of perjury, meaning if she's lying, she will have to, be arrested. What is the penalty for perjury anyway? I think you get arrested, but what's the like maximum sentence on perjury? So according to Google, perjury can result in up to 5 years in prison under federal law, heavy fines, probation, and of course, having to do community service. So those are the penalties that come from lying under oath, right? So she's saying under this penalty of perjury, I'm telling you that I can verify this is a true account, and we have both phone and email records to attest to it. Okay? Just keeping everybody up to speed. Now, the first thing I'm going to get into is, and this is breaking news, that Roger Goodell, which is the commissioner of the NFL, he came out and did a press conference today. There's a lot that was covered in the press conference. This was not centered around Jay-Z. It was about the Netflix game coming up, more stringent rules about, player safety and stuff like that in the games. All of those things were addressed, but there was a portion in which he does say that he's standing with Jay-Z, right? They have not absolved the relationship with Jay-Z and Roc Nation as of yet. They're still moving forward, getting ready for this Christmas game, and they're still going on business as usual with preparing for the Super Bowl in February. So as it currently stands, Roger Goodell and the NFL have not changed their stance. They're rolling with Jay-Z. Let me go ahead and pull up the clip of him making this statement.
Allegations. And Jay-Z's really strong response to that. And we know that obviously the litigation's happening now, so, but from our standpoint, our relationship's not changing with them, including our preparations for the next Super Bowl. The first part of your question is how the relationship's evolving. I think they're getting incredibly comfortable with not just the Super Bowl, but other events that they've advised us on, helped us with. It's been helpful in the social justice area to us on many occasions. They've been great partners that have provided a lot of value for us.
And of course, in instances where he's saying they, it's pretty safe to assume that he's talking about Roc Nation outside of just Jay-Z himself, but the entire staff over there at Roc Nation who's been helping the NFL in the entertainment areas, and as he said, in areas of social justice, finding worthy, basically things to get behind, because that's something that's important over there too. All right. Now, as it pertains to Jay-Z, this is going to be a very interesting conversation because Jason Whitlock, who's somebody that a lot of people don't fuck with, I don't watch his show. Not a fan of his sports takes, but footage came out last night of him interviewing former NFL star Larry Johnson. If y'all are sports fans, if y'all watched the NFL in the mid 2000s, Larry Johnson was a fucking sight to see on that field. That nigga was an excellent running back. That nigga was out there breaking records, breaking tackles, and breaking your motherfucking neck if you stood in his way trying to tackle him. You know what I'm saying? And he was throwing up the rock when he would get a touchdown. So this is somebody who was formerly associated with Jay-Z at a point. Their relationship soured. We'll get into how the relationship soured and why. But he interviewed with Jason Whitlock last night, and he alleges that there was some sort of photo shoot that took place in between 2006, 2007. He doesn't give a verified date or a solidified year, but he gave us a range between 2006, 2007. They did some sort of photo shoot. They were in the mountains out in Colorado somewhere in a pretty large home. They did the photo shoot. Everything was good. He was like I guess he was associated with Rockefeller. This is prior to Roc Nation becoming a thing. But again, he was around. He says they do the photo shoot. After the photo shoot has concluded, they're basically having some sort of party, gathering, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Drinks are flowing. Good times are having. I'm assuming music is playing. And he claims that him and Beyonce are sitting side by side. And he claims that around 11 o'clock p.m., a group of young children, young girls, presumably, I guess, teenage, come into the spot. And he says Beyonce kind of nudges him and is like, hey, ain't that sexy? Alleging that Beyonce is talking to him, looking at a young child, asking him if he thinks this is sexy. Okay? Now, I'm trying to be as neutral as I possibly can to the things that people are saying. You know, it doesn't seem like Beyonce would do or say something like that, but do I know Beyonce? No. Do I know her character outside of who and what she portrays on social media, through her music, through her art? No. I do know that they say that Beyonce has a camera team that films her damn near at all times, and she has archives of all of this stuff in her office somewhere. So maybe she has footage of this photo shoot from that day. I don't know. But I'm going to pull up the footage of them having this conversation because I think it's only in the interest of fairness. If I'm going to speak on Jay-Z fighting back, fighting the allegations, and I'm covering the allegations that are coming out against him and Diddy, then I got to kind of cover what this guy, Larry Johnson, is saying as well, as he was a former associate. I believe they did business together. And he says he does not seem all that surprised that this came out. So I gotta kind of be fair and let him get his shit off. All right. So I'm gonna pull up the video. It's a little lengthy. I gave y'all the synopsis, but here we are.
When Jay was going after B was a very young woman. Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house. And we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play. And after the game, it had to have been like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults. There was a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old teenage Latin girl that was there, and I think she had to leave because she had school and she had to do homework, but she brought her mother with her. So it was no funny business going on, which I could respect that. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy? Or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me. So when I hear something like this happens, I can't really discount it and say, oh, he could never do this, because I'm hearing stories, I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I've been in situations where something don't sound or look right, and it's usually involving children.
Larry, you've just blown my mind, and so I'm gonna have to ask you to. I just want to be clear on what I just heard. In 2006 or 7,
yeah,
you're in Colorado at a winter party with Jay-Z and the people with Rock Nation. And
it was the people who helped out with the photo shoot. It was a winter campaign that we shot. Mm-hmm.
And it's at some very nice mansion somewhere in Colorado.
Yeah, up in the mountains somewhere.
And Beyonce is sitting relatively close to you, and there's a child there. And,
yes.
And this is after 11 o'clock at night. And she says, doesn't this look sexy?
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce, the singer.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Yes. Yes.
And the reason why I believe you, I'm not gonna put a name to this. The reason why I believe you is like they get you out there and they float little test bubbles out there to see if you bite. Mm-hmm. It's like going fishing. Does the bob? Did I get a nibble? Did the bobber go down? Because I've been in that situation. I'm not gonna name names, but it was a prominent sports media figure that I had a social gathering at my apartment in downtown LA, Apex building. Probably 20 people inside my apartment, and someone tried to engage me in a conversation about, can't you understand why older men find 14 and 15-year-old women attractive? And I was like, no, I really can't. And then they followed back up, and I was like, and then I just walked away, and I made a mental note like, hey, this person is on some different shit, quite frankly. and just and I was like, and I kept, and it shocked me because I wasn't expecting this from this person, and it's always stuck with me. And you know, I would elaborate and give a few more details, but it would potentially give away the person if I gave any more details. But it was just like a test, and I can remember like, yeah, I just failed that test. And so whatever they got going on out here in LA, and they trying to figure out if they can get me in some kind of conversation about whether I was attracted to 14 and 15-year-old women, I just failed that test. So I don't think you're lying or exaggerating. I think that is real out there in Hollywood. It's part of the reason why I left Los Angeles. And Larry, to me, it's like you've watched the Godfather 2 movies, mafia movies, and what the music industry in Hollywood is much like the mafia. It's like the Sopranos in terms of you can't become a made man until you've killed somebody in the mafia. You gotta make your bones. You gotta, and it sounds to me in Hollywood and in the music industry, if you want to make it to the top, you must be involved in some sort of sexual deviancy before and they must know about it before they fully trust you. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree, because we all know how shameful it is to be messing around with a child, no matter what the age. And they know that the majority of the people in this country or in this world do not sit by and will not let anybody abuse children. So that's more of a shame thing they can control you with. Now, sacrificing somebody, that's personal. You know, not many people can add those or connect those dots of who did what and who did this, but it happens. But when it comes to sexual deviancy, as you said, it's more of we don't want the whole world to know what you've really been up to, so you have to do what we say do. And I think that's how they move. And like you said, I think it's like putting a worm on a hook. They see who bite. They're not gonna come up to you and say, hey, you like 5-year-olds? They're not gonna do that because you look at them weird, or you might just punch them in the mouth. But they'll put you in situations where if young children are around, they'll move you into it. It may not be a 5-year-old, but it'll start at a 19-year-old at a party. It'll go from a 15-year-old at a party. Then you show up at somebody's private home and residence, and it's like a 9-year-old. And then they keep going to see how far you can go. And I don't want to imagine it, but I know they're going as far as they can go until they get into animals. And I know when it comes to sexual deviancy and it comes to lust, there is no backstop to that until you reach an animal. And that's where, if we talk about the days of Noah, that's exactly where sexual deviancy ends up. It ends up with animals.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Larry Johnson, former NFL star, running back, was an excellent athlete in his prime. Now, as far as animals and all that type of stuff, you know, I don't know nothing about that, and there's no talk of that as of now. So, you know, that's kind of like when you go to court and the motherfucker say, we need that stricken from the record, all right? Because that's not what we're talking about. And you didn't put no name with that part of it. But basically he's saying if you once you get in too deep, that's where it could lead you. Okay. Now, as it pertains to the photo shoot that he spoke about, there are a few photos online that will lead you back to this actual photo shoot. Now, whether or not Larry Johnson was a part of this photo shoot, I personally don't know. But what I do know is Jay-Z and Beyonce were for sure a part of it. This is Jay-Z. This is a Rockaware advertisement here. This Beyonce looks like a husky. And they're out in the mountains in Aspen, Colorado. Okay. This was posted in 2022 from some page, Jay-Z and Beyonce in Aspen, 2006, for an ad campaign photo shoot for Jay's Rockaware clothing line. Beyonce and Jay-Z. So this at least puts them in the location. Okay? That's what I can say. So this is 2006. Do I know Larry Johnson to be there? I do not. Do I know any children to be there? I don't. One can assume. He said that there was a 13, 14-year-old model that was a part of the shoot. That doesn't mean that she was there for any nefarious reasons, but perhaps he might be correct in that, right? Now, my question is, where did the other children come from? Can anyone verify that this group of children was ushered into the mountains to come be a part of this? Can anyone verify that? I don't know. Okay. Now, as it pertains to Jay-Z and Larry Johnson's relationship and ties, I've got an article here from Uprocks. This is dated December 13th, 2017. Perhaps I should share my screen. It's always safer to share the screen with y'all so y'all know I'm not making this stuff up or getting, a load of horse shit online or making anything up, more importantly. This is Uprocks. Jay-Z broke ties with footballer Larry Johnson because of repeated domestic violence arrests. So their relationship went sour because Larry Johnson, the same guy we were just watching, kept getting arrested for DV. Okay? I'm not here to run a smear campaign on anyone. I'm not a paid, I don't get paid to put this information out there. I'm just trying to get clarity on what's going on. Okay? So they say, among many other things, Jay-Z is known for having a tight circle. Even though he's on a low-key reconciliation tour these days, there are several people who he's been seen with for an era, then never again. And I'm sure they mean reconciliation tour. This is linking to him getting back cool with Jaz-O. Of course, he did like those B-side concerts where State Property, Beanie Siegel, and all of those people that he used to work with were invited. Although he does not really work with them that closely these days. He's giving them a cookie and allowed them to come on stage and rock with him a couple times. They say Dame Dash is the most notorious example. One of former Rockefeller soldier Beanie Siegel's gripes is feeling like he was left behind as Jay-Z ascended the corporate ladder, which none of this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Ditto Jaz-O. Now, Jaz-O is the guy who introduced Jay-Z to rap, so maybe you could say whatever you want about that. But if you outgrow friendships, it is what it is. Many hope that doesn't become the case with Kanye, though everyone has their own particular story. It seems like it all fits a general trend. If he doesn't think you're a good look to be around, you're cut off, which honestly kind of works in Jay-Z's favor, because if you're somebody who's a liability to the empire that he's building and he's cutting you off, then why would he put himself at risk with child play? That's just what my logical brain says, but I don't live inside of his, so I don't know what he's into, right? That's the case for Larry Johnson, a former all-pro football player who was close to Jay-Z for a period in the late 2000s. He threw up the Rockefeller Diamond after scoring touchdowns. He was in Rockaware ads. He was in the star-studded Rock Boys video, which is one of my favorite Jay-Z songs. Dope video. They even shared a condo at the Trump Tower. Whoa, that didn't age well. Unfortunately, Johnson's violent streak eventually cost him their friendship and a whole lot more. In a heartbreaking Washington Post feature, which touches on the mental torment Johnson's going through as a result of his lengthy football life, there's a small bit about how Jay-Z cut him off over email because he kept getting arrested. It's unknown when their break occurred, but it seems like Jay frowned upon Johnson constantly getting into it with the law, specifically his 5 arrests for assault and battery on women. Yeesh. Including waving a gun at his girlfriend and spitting a drink in a woman's face at a nightclub. The article states that Johnson started feeling symptoms of rage and depression consistent with so many football players suffering from the brain-degenerating CTE at his Penn State alma mater. So by the time he was coming out of college, he was already starting to deal with signs of CTE, allegedly. Johnson sought to prove his toughness in nightclubs and fights with women. Wow. The article states. The 38-year-old Johnson, I guess he was 38 in 2017. A powerful running back who holds an NFL record for rushes in a single season with 416 can't yet take a test to prove if he has CTE, as it's only available for deceased players for now. He says he suffers from unbearable headaches, violent mood swings, and has even made a video with highlights and pictures of him for his daughter in case he doesn't live long enough to see her grow up. Excuse me. Hopefully he can get whatever help is available to him and refrain from any more violent activity. So this is 2017. I kind of want to delve deeper into this to gain more understanding of what was going on. But here they go trying to get me to fucking pay y'all some money. Ain't that about to be? Everybody want $1, don't they? All right, I was able to get into this, but I ain't paying y'all niggas. So in this article, and we're not going to go through the whole thing, I really wanted to just kind of center around Jay-Z and his thing. So we're going to get to that portion shortly. They say he ran with rage, and it was just his way of saying, I'm not going to let this opportunity get away. Some of those places as Johnson became a college player and eventually a pro included the backs of police cars or disciplinary meetings with coaches. He says he began experiencing symptoms of depression in college, and he sought to prove his toughness in nightclubs and fights women. So that's an exact quote. This is from the Washington Post that other article quoted. He tried to numb himself with alcohol, which took him deeper into the shadows. Months after Kansas City selected him in the first round of 2003 draft, Johnson was arrested for aggravated assault and domestic battery for an incident involving a woman. So in his very first year in the NFL, he came into it already having domestic battery charges against women. That's wow. A misunderstanding, Johnson would say. Less than 2 years later, he was arrested again for shoving a different woman to the floor of a bar. An overly aggressive local law, he'd say. I don't know if he meant overly aggressive law or just an overly aggressive local. I don't know. There's always a reason for Johnson's mistakes, says Tony Johnson, the ex-player's brother and his day-to-day manager during his NFL career, and sometimes he was the reason. Johnson could be cheerful and social at times, sullen and isolated at others. He collected slights and bad habits, to say nothing of the guns he kept strapped to his shoulders at high-end restaurants and under the seat of his white Bentley. So he was riding around packing too. Some nights he'd fire rounds into strangers' lawns or palm a pistol at a local gas station, he says, hoping someone would challenge him for a late-night lesson in toughness. Sir. Me against everybody, he says, and on and off the field that became his code, driving him to rush for a combined 3,539 yards in 2005 and 06. His dominance and persona made him an A-list celebrity and opened doors to a friendship with Jay-Z and dates with R&B singer Maya. So for people out there that thought Jay-Z and Maya dated, I don't think he would have been all that kosher with this NFL guy messing with his old John, not getting all close with him. But rumors sometimes are more appealing than the reality. So they say whether it was brain injuries, immaturity, celebrity, or some combination, Johnson says aggression became a switch I couldn't shut off. And after a while, Jay-Z cut him off via email for being arrested so often. Johnson says, and Maya, the singer, once stopped him from jumping from a window. And the way that they're framing this article, as we're not reading the entire thing, it's being framed around CTE, which is a very severe brain damage that happens to a lot of athletes that play in the NFL, play in contact sports. Some hockey players, I think, have been checked for this. NFL players, definitely people that may have battled in the military. All of these different things. So yeah, those are also people that, can come down with this CTE thing. Wrestlers, people that experience like severe head trauma and contact to the head. But I guess as far as studies go, they can only verify it after you're dead. So they could go in and study your brain or some shit. I don't know. But whatever the case is, He has a very violent past. And he was going through suicidal ideations of some sort. And after too many arrests and DV issues, Jay-Z cut him off. Now, 2024, he's coming out saying Jay-Z had children at a photo shoot turned into a party. And Beyonce says, "Isn't this sexy?" when a stable of children were released into the room. I don't know what's what. I don't know what's real, what's fake. I do know that there was a photo shoot 2006 in Aspen, Colorado, in the mountains. Everything else after that, I cannot verify. I cannot say right or left what happened. All right. Some people might say he's telling the truth. Some people could say that he's an estranged friend, homie, that's still harboring ill feelings off the fact that he was cut off in a very non-personal way, since Jay-Z just basically sent him an email saying he was cutting him off. He didn't give him a phone call. He didn't see him in person. Maybe he's still harboring ill will towards that, and it's like, this is the opportunity to put smut on his name. Because I was trying to understand, like, where things soured between these guys. I wasn't really like keeping up with their relationship or anything like that for him to come out, but I did know that he was associated. But what I find interesting is this photo shoot took place in 2006. That's his third year in the league. And what year did Jay-Z cut him off? Was it, cause he was still in Rocawear ads up to like 2009. So I don't know what the exact date was when Jay-Z hit him up. But they say after 2 more arrests and a suspension, he was released in 2009 from the Chiefs, which was the heyday of his career. And he went on a pretty downward spiral after that. So maybe 2009 was around the time that Jay removed himself. I don't know. Y'all could give me your best theories, your best line of, something, explanation as to what's going on. But all I can do is cover what's happening, try to be as objective as possible, try to see all sides of a conversation, and kind of go from there. All right? Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace. King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit on my almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more to survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.